How you say your name?
My nigga Scronic.
My guy Scronic.
Scronic is the best.
Scronic your ass.
Scronic?
W Scronic,
oh
man.
My goodness. Scronic just got great energy.
Y'all make sure y'all following Scronic, man.
W Scronic.
At $300. What kind of gaming PC can you build for $300? And more importantly, what is it capable of? First, we need the CPU, the motherboard, now the GPU, RAM, next, SSD, power supply, case, and then a cooler. Let's do it. First thing I found was a RAM. Surprisingly, there was someone selling a 32 gig set for $30. I offered 25 and the seller accepted. We scored a set of King Bank 32 gig, 3200 megahertz for $25. We're now down to $275. The next thing I found was someone selling a random 500 gig Gen 3 SSD. I offered $20 and the seller accepted.
And 500 gigs? That'll work. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Yeah, have a good one.
Full disclosure, this SSD is a bit sketchy. Under normal circumstances, I just recommend picking up a Gen 3 or Gen 4 1 terabyte for $50 on Amazon. But we're sticking to the budget. We're now down to $255 and we have the RAM and SSD. Next, I found someone selling a white 3060 for $175. I knew they wouldn't take 100, so I offered 125, hoping I could make up the difference elsewhere. They were also selling a case I didn't really want, but it was white and matched the GPU. So I just offered $25 for it and they accepted.
Nice.
Okay.
And I don't know how to deal with this stuff, so I just left the motherboard in there.
Oh, okay.
You can do with it what you please.
Okay.
This is not the box
Yeah.
that this one came in. This is the box to my new one.
Yeah, no worries.
And also we bought this to go with this case, but then my husband got me a new case.
Oh, okay.
So you can have that too.
Cool. Perfect. Appreciate it. Well, here's
Wait, so he got a free, he pretty much got a free motherboard with that shit.
Let me just check this out really quick.
Absolutely.
So I put this on YouTube. Are you okay with being on YouTube? I could blur your face out if you have a problem with it. Yeah. Well, awesome. I appreciate it very much.
If there's like any problems or anything with it, just send me a message.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Very much appreciate it. Have a good one.
After picking up the case and GPU for $150, the seller just gave me the motherboard and processor that was in the case. So we scored a free Z370E motherboard and an i5-8400. Not exactly
What?
the motherboard and processor I want, but we'll take it for free.
You got a frame motherboard?
And there's a CPU cool on that too, so I have a feeling there's a CPU inside of it.
Nice.
I have a feeling so boyfriend or husband's gonna be pissed.
Now this is where the plan takes a turn. So my daughter's computer has been giving her problems and she's been due for an upgrade. So the plan was now to give her this computer, except she wants a black and orange theme build. Now she's not picky. If I built her a white PC, she'd be completely okay with it. But I know the aesthetics would go a lot better in her room if it was black and orange. So I'll use this for a build if I have to, but for now it's back to the drawing board. Luckily I've been in talks with someone for an RTX 2080 and I have them down to 135. But really, $125 is the absolute limit. I gave him another couple days and sent a follow-up message, just letting him know that for $125, I could pick it up immediately. I got a casual thumbs up on the message, thought we were in the clear until I got a notification that he marked the listing as sold. Oh, that hurts. I shouldn't have been so greedy and just agreed to the $135. I proceeded to message everyone selling a 3060, 6600 XTs, 2070 Supers, and even 2080s, but to no luck. I decided to switch over to OfferUp and found someone selling a 2080 for $180. I sent a message offering $125 and they agreed.
How's it going?
Wow.
Garrett.
My name's Brian. Oh, Gary.
Yeah.
My bad.
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
So I'm
Like I
assuming
said,
everything's all good with this?
You have a test pitch?
I didn't bring one with me.
It is all good.
Yeah.
I tried cleaning up as best as I could. There's a little bit of dust on it, but
Yeah, no worries. Cool.
but like I said, everything worked on it just fine when I had it. So
Yeah.
and it's just been steady in my case.
Cool.
Oh, you're
Appreciate
welcome.
it. Well, thank you very
You
much.
have a good one.
Yeah, you have a good one.
The GPU is a bit sketchy and you can tell people have taken it apart before, but this is what we're going with. So we're now down to $130. During all of this, I was of course messaging everyone that had any of the parts I needed for the budget I had. After messaging dozens of people for a motherboard offering $40 and being denied, one popped up for $10. A
What the
B450 carbon
fuck?
edition for $10. It had to be a scam, but I messaged them anyways. After a few back and forth messages, we agreed to a time and city location for the next day. The following day, I tried to reestablish contact and nothing. Then I get a notification that the listing description changed, and then it said, due to overwhelming amount of messages, first come, first serve. I sent another message like, I thought we were meeting at this time. They responded and said we were. Hey, how's it going? How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I just put it inside. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
not a problem. Appreciate it. Good one, thank you. See, just literally hand off the money. It's only 10 bucks, so at least. Here it is, B450 for 10 bucks. Pretty sketchy. Definitely not confident that it's working, but we'll take it. We're now down to 120 bucks. Now that we secured an AM4 board, I knew finding
Not gonna lie, that was crazy.
$600 for $40 would be easy. It didn't take long. I found someone who had one listed on OfferUp for $70. I offered $40 and the seller agreed. How's it going? How are you?
How's it going with you?
Good.
Oh yeah.
So there's no bent pins or nothing?
No, I actually just checked as well, just
Did
to
you?
make sure.
Cool. Well, I very much appreciate it. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, watch my videos. If you need any help, just send me a message, Dan.
Oh, yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. Have a good one. Now we're down to 80 bucks. But all we need is a case, power supply, and CPU cooler.
Fire.
Oh my god, cases are a joke. Seriously, just buy a case for 50, 60 bucks on Amazon. People want $100 for their 10-year-old PC case that still has DVD drives in them. I messaged so many people as if I didn't learn my lesson from the $500 build. I was getting so desperate, I was just trying to find a cheap power supply so I could just buy a $50 case. But after a day, we found someone selling a fish tank style case from a pre-built for $30. Now, normally I wouldn't be interested, but it looked decent. The case was made by Montech, and it could hold a full-size ATX motherboard we picked up. I'm doing a YouTube video, and
YouTube?
yeah, and so this is going to be, well, yeah, I'm doing a $300 computer build, and so that's why I'm trying to find a case that was cheap enough to match. That's why when you're like, I got this power supply, and it's like, dude, I have a really small budget for a power supply. So cool, I appreciate it. Well, thank you very much.
Your power supply doesn't have power supply too. I mean, if you want a cheap one.
What's that?
It's like 650 watt.
I'm using a 2080, and so I have to have a 750 minimum.
Oh, 2080, I got it.
Yeah, so.
$300 with 2080?
Yeah, I already got it for 125 bucks. I know, it's crazy. I actually said the same thing. Awesome, dude, I appreciate it.
Enjoy, yeah.
Yeah, have a good one.
Wow.
It's not bad. That case. All right, cool. Case secured. We're now down to 50 bucks. At this point, people wanted $30 for their AM4 stock cooler on Marketplace. And considering you can pick up a decent cooler on Amazon for 20 bucks, that was the new plan. Assuming I could find a power supply for $30, and because we got a 2080, it has to be at least a 750 watt. I messaged everyone that had a power supply that was over 750 watt. I didn't even care about the PSU tier list at this point. And then a new listing popped up really close. An 850 watt, fully modular RGB power supply from Red Dragon, listed for 60 bucks. I sent a message offering 30 and the seller accepted. How's it going?
Going good.
Very much appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
How's it going?
Going great.
Good. So all the cables and stuff are here?
Yeah,
well, the
everything's
important ones
Saturday.
anyways. That's all I need. So
Yeah.
thank you so
All right.
much.
Sweet, man. Well, good luck, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. It'll be on YouTube, FPS for Less, if you're curious.
I'm gonna go look that up right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice to meet you, by the way.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, FPS for less. What build are you doing right now?
I'm doing a $300 build.
Good luck.
Yeah, this is the last piece.
Oh,
Very
sweet.
last part.
What's flexing right now?
2080 is what I
You
ended
got
up
a
getting.
2080 in the budget? Dude, good job.
$125 I got a 2080 for. And then I ended up
That's
getting
actually
a
crazy.
B450 for $10. I was messaging people at $40 and people were like, no, I want 50, I want 60. It's like, I'm not gonna spend that much on a B450.
No.
And then I'm on it constantly.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden one popped up for $10. And I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I haven't tested it yet. That's part of the fun of the video, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is to see if it all works. But yeah, and then I got a Ryzen 5 3600 for the processor.
Yeah, sounds all right.
Yeah. Well, cool. I very much appreciate it. Yeah, this is literally going to be the next video I'm going to start working on. So
Yeah.
this will probably be the very next video released on the channel.
Good luck to you,
Yeah,
man.
for sure. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We'll keep in touch. Have a good one.
I'm not gonna lie, that's actually
I couldn't even
crazy.
find a 10-year-old Corsair 750 watt for $30. And we ended up scoring a better power supply than we could have imagined. Fully modular, with a 12-volt high power connection, and it's B tier. After that, I found a cheap $20 cooler on Amazon, and we officially had all the parts secured at exactly $300. Now the plan is
Wow.
to do an orange and black theme, so I ordered some optional orange cable extensions. The grill of the case had some rust spots, so I thought it'd be a fun idea to sand it down and paint it orange as well. Now that we had everything and the paint was dry, it was time to clean up the case. First, I wiped everything down, removed the stickers, swapped out the case fans, and installed the newly painted vent panels. I also picked up these really
Fire.
cool anodized orange screws to use for the case. Now let's get this computer assembled. First, we have our MSI B450 Gaming Pro Carbon Max Wi-Fi motherboard we got for $10. There's a reason it was so cheap. Not sure if you caught it yet, but something's missing on this motherboard that I clearly didn't notice yet. Next, we have our processor, the Ryzen 5 3600 B450 Gaming Pro Carbon Max
Is that the CPU holder?
Wi-Fi motherboard we got for $10. There's a reason it was so cheap. Not sure if you caught it yet, but something's missing on this motherboard that I clearly didn't notice yet. Next, we have our processor, the Ryzen 5 3600 we got for $40. And right off the bat, we encounter our first major issue. The pins are bent on the CPU.
So there's no bent pins or nothing?
No, I actually just checked as well, just
Did
to
you?
make sure.
It was time to call Hillary down to have her start bending these things back. After that, we installed the RAM, 32 gigs, 3200 megahertz CL16 we got for $25. Next,
Wow.
SSD, a 500 gig Gen 3 SSD we got for $20. And then our CPU cooler. I clearly made the same mistake Zach did and got this 100mm CPU cooler that looks a bit weird being smaller than the fans. But it's not a big deal and it still does the job. This was $20 on Amazon and the only new part we used. Next,
Is
we
the
dropped the
screws
motherboard
missing
into the
or
case.
something?
And now for the
What's
power
missing
supply.
from
We
it?
got this 850 watt Red Dragon fully modular power supply for $30. And here's the next major setback that actually just destroyed the challenge. After installing the 24 pin CPU cables, I noticed the PCI cables weren't installing properly. After inspecting them, I noticed the connectors don't match the power supply. And I also noticed the PSU end of the connector say PSU when the other ones have some kind of model number on them. That's when I realized that the PCIe cables don't belong to the power supply. The entire challenge was butchered. Not only was a 12-volt high power cord missing, but the PCI cables were wrong.
So all the cables and stuff are here?
Yeah,
Well, the
everything's
important
out
ones
there.
anyways, that's all I need. So
Yeah?
So I reached out to the seller. He got back to me and offered to look for the cables. After 3 days of not hearing anything and not having more time to wait, I just used the power supply I already had on hand. This is the EVGA 750 watt G6 that I picked up during the $1,000 build for $50.
good. And $50. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no
Very
problem.
much appreciated.
That's really interesting.
Awesome.
What did you say? FPS for less?
FPS for less, yeah.
Now the seller did get back to me and told me that he bought the power supply used, and he had a 3-to-1 core to use for his 4080. 3 PCIe to 12-volt high power. I'm sure it was never the intent for the seller to do me wrong, but it definitely destroyed our challenge. So our
Damn.
build went from $300 to $350 just like that. To be fair, every bit of these problems could have been avoided. The proper thing to do is to bring a test bench and thoroughly inspect all parts. But I know most of you don't have a test bench and don't know exactly what to look for. So I
What the
just
fuck
allowed
is a
myself
test
to fall
bench?
for any problems that occurred. After installing the new power supply and plugging everything in, it was time for the GPU. And this is when I finally realized what was missing on the motherboard. The PCIe retention clip to hold the GPU in. I honestly can't believe I didn't notice that sooner, but it should be fine. After installing the GPU, I fired it up to see if it posts. Not only did everything work, which is a shock in itself, but the SSD already had Windows installed on it. I followed up with some cable management and we're done. So the original cost, we were at exactly $300. After having to get a
I'm
new
not gonna
power
lie,
supply,
that's
it bumped
fire,
it up
bro.
to $350. Now that it's all together, let's see what this thing's actually capable of. So the goal from the beginning with this $300 build was to get 60 plus FPS with Borderlands 4. We had to turn the settings down, but with DLSS set to balance, we got over 60 FPS without frame gen. I'll call that a win. But let's check out a few other games. Next, Cyberpunk, 1080p, ray tracing set to low with texture quality set to high. and
230
frame gen,
FPS?
full native. We got an average FPS of 81. Next, Marvel
Oh,
Rivals,
wait.
1080p,
There's this one.
medium settings,
80
DLSS set to
FPS.
quality, and frame gen off. We got an average FPS of 73. Fortnite, 1080p, performance mode, we were averaging 160 FPS. And for our 3D Mark Time Spy score, we got 10,209. And there we have it, wildly impressive build for what should have been $300. And had I been more diligent, it could have been. All I had to do was check the power supply cords and plug them into the unit, and this would have all been avoided. Obviously, all the aesthetics were optional, but at the end of the day, it was just $25 on cable extensions, $10 on hardware, and $8 on a can of spray paint. I hope this build shows that you don't need to spend a ton of money to enjoy the latest games.
Thank you. That hit the mark. You can have a really good PC for $350, bro, if you build
Between
it
all the
yourself.
sponsored products.
I'm not gonna lie, like that is valid.